Hello, hello, hello. What is going on? Welcome to Same Team Sundays, where we win together or lose apart. I am your host, Avery Woodley, the hostess with the mostest. All right, you guys are going to see a lot going on. I am actually, I have eucalyptus over here. I have all types of stuff going on, okay? I think my notifications are going off, so I probably need to silence those. I think they're going off. Are those my notifications? Do you see something pop up? So, it's always something, but I'm hearing stuff dinging, so I'm gonna make sure my notifications are off because I don't know why I'm hearing them. Oh, and also I'm doing something different. So I have a computer over here. I'm new to, like I say, I'm always new to this. I don't have that whole like double monitor thing. Plus, I'm not that tech savvy, so I have to keep it as simple as possible. So I do have another laptop over here, and that is how I will be communicating with you guys via the stream. So I'm gonna be looking over here just so I can be a little bit more relaxed, so I don't feel like I'm always like this. Welcome to Same Team Sundays, because that's just not me. It's not. And I told you guys before about me doing research on other people, and the only thing, and then I stopped doing that, like watching other YouTubers, not because I don't want to support them, but I noticed that since this is a new space for me and they've been at it, I started to like subconsciously compare myself to them. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to be adjusting my hair. I might reach down, pull up my bottle of water. And I'm just going to get really comfortable for this conversation. And, I have all these things I have to say. Another thing is, if anybody wants to join in tonight, I think we can do it. Yeah, we can do, I think, just audio on StreamYard. We can do just audio, or if you want to be on camera. So if you guys want to join in tonight, let me know. It is going to be like a little different, like awkward at first, because I literally might copy the stream key or whatever right into the super chat. But I do not have to let you in. So if you're coming in on some crazy stuff, I do not have to let you in to the stream. But I will open it up for that. We're going to kind of do more of a discussion towards the end. I think, I don't want to, I had my stream layout, whatever you want to call it, for Same Team Sundays. And the more I do this, I'm like, you know what? I want it to be as comfortable as possible for you all and for me. So what I think I'm going to do is towards the end of the streams or Same Team Sundays, we'll do kind of like a discussion, like live thing. And we're just going to talk about, if there was something that you guys didn't get to mention during the stream because I'm yapping away or whatever. So we'll kind of open the floor up for that. And I may even invite you guys in just on that portion instead of like throughout or whatever. So if there's something that you want to say, if there's something that you do not agree with that I said, any of that kind of stuff, but it has to pertain to today's topic, then go ahead, write it down, put it in your notes or whatever. And then I'm going to try to open up, for that towards the end. Okay. But still comment in the chat. Use super chat. You see my little ticker going across the bottom. I just learned that word. All that. So yes. And this, you know what? My phone is going off. How rude. Hold on. Let me answer this. This is so terrible. Sorry, guys. This is what happens. Like, it was an important message. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing. If you just joined, welcome to Same Team Sundays, where we win together, lose apart. I am your host, Avery Woodley. Today's topic, okay? I'm going to get into it in a second, but it is about the perception of a good man because and based kind of like on the misconception of the blue collar man. And I will talk about why I've kind of mixed the topics a little bit, because today originally was all about the disrespect of the blue collar man. Okay. Do you guys hear those notifications going off? I may need you to like exit out of those because they're loud. All right. Hello. All right. So, like I said, that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, you guys are going to see this big, it looks kind of gaudy. This big vase over here is my eucalyptus. I don't know if any of you all follow me on social media, but I talk about it. Okay. I love eucalyptus. The way it smells like a spa or something like that. I absolutely love it. But yeah, so that's what this is. This is eucalyptus. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys another thing really quick. This is really random, but I'm just waiting until we get started. So this is a huge candle. All right. In a Belvedere bottle. This is from a company called Drinkwick, okay? And part of the proceeds go to local charity. When I say the candles are amazing, they're soy candles. And no, they are not a sponsor of Same Team Sunday. This is just something that I really love, and I have their candles all over the house. And they just do all different types of upcycled, I always say recycled, but upcycled bottles, tequila, wines, almost anything that you want. I saw some recently. They made some for my ex in the Monster Energy can or whatever. So they were candles inside the Monster Energy can. But yes, so that is from Drinkwick. And then look at this lovely cup of mine. I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. You know, there's going to be some people that got something to say about this cup, but whatever. Okay. All right. So, you know, we do like a little bit of a team check-in. Go ahead. Let me know how you guys are doing. And then we're going to get to our topic. Okay. So let me know how you guys are doing this Sunday. What's going on? Have you done anything? Let me talk to you guys in here and say hello. All right. Hello. Okay. I'm trying to think. So usually the last few times for the stream, I have literally been running around up until like the last second. I think last week I got on here in like a like a hoodie and blue jean jacket, a t-shirt, and all types of stuff. And I just like jumped on like at 7:02. And yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. So I tried something different this time, okay? And I actually spent most of the day off of social media. I've decided that I'm going to start doing that. I only went on Twitter and Facebook and all of that and Instagram. I didn't even come on to the YouTube chat or whatever. And I tried to like, you know, comment to you all on there as much as possible. But I didn't go on there unless it was to post about today, okay? And I decided, I was like, you know, I really have to keep my head clear, not clog my mind, because it's crazy. When we watch stuff and see stuff, you know, we do take it in. So I just kind of went into like, then I did some praise and worship earlier, listened to some sermons, some other motivational stuff, and was just really trying to like calm myself and center myself, because I do take this, I mean, seriously, even though I get on here and I say crazy stuff and we're here to have a good time, but we are here to impact lives and to make a change and all of that stuff and to bring men and women together. All right. Let me see. Thank you, Jordan. That's a dope mug to express that I am not perfect. Yes. And you know, it's funny on the inside of it, which, I mean, you obviously can't see and neither can I because it's full of stuff. But on the inside of the cup, it says no one is perfect. And that's why I like this. Like, I don't even remember. I got it from like a little random store and bought a couple of them. But yeah, in the inside, it does say no one is perfect. So Jordan, thank you. Oh, really quick. You guys know I have ADD, so I'm going to jump all over the place. Chris, Pullen, is that your last name? I don't want to mispronounce it. You were the first person in the chat tonight. So, hey, I wish you don't get a prize, but hey, thanks for being the first one. Okay, so I was talking about how I spent my day and what else? I think that's about it. Like I cooked, you know, I cooked a breakfast and then I made some like fettuccine Alfredo for the kids, all that kind of stuff. But yes, that is what I did today. Instead of, you know, busying myself with all this other stuff, we didn't have any games or, you know, sports stuff this weekend and today. So that was cool. And I was able to like chill out before I got on here with you all. So let's go ahead and get into the topic. I know I said we were going to do a team check-in, but go ahead and let me know how you guys are doing in the chat. But I do want to have a more discussion this week, okay? And I don't want it to feel rushed and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, if anybody wants to be able to come on and agree, disagree, or just give some of their experience or their thoughts, then I'm going to invite people in to come on the live stream with me. Camera on if you want. If we can do camera off but still hear you, that's an option. Just nothing, you know, if it's something crazy, I don't have any like fun sounds yet or whatever in here because I don't know how to add sounds, but I will just get you off of there, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of intro. So the topic initially for tonight was the disrespect of the blue collar man, okay? I think when I first got that little community tab post thing on YouTube, I started asking questions like, hey, oh, thank you. I started asking questions about different topics you guys wanted to hear, because I have things that I want to discuss and topics I want to discuss, but you guys are my teammates, okay? You guys are my supporters. You guys are with me on this journey at this same team table. So I also want to hear from you all and things that you guys want to discuss. And I don't ignore them. I see them. I just might not. I'm going to, add them in later. So the disrespect of the blue collar man, and I wish I could remember who initially posted it, I just don't know, was from one of you all, okay? Now, and I was like, okay, that's a good one. I thought it was a good topic. I just didn't understand the topic, okay? And what I mean by I didn't understand it, the way I was viewing it, I was just like, well, kind of like, why are blue collar men disrespected? And I know since I'm all in tune with everything and I'm like so intelligent, no, that's a joke. I should have known, I should have been able to see that blue collar men are, felt this disrespect. But once again, I'm kind of ignorant to it. I'm not a blue collar man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a man. So I thought a little bit about the topic and I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I wanted to bring some of you guys on just to like kind of chat and hear about, your experience when it comes to women, whatever reasons you feel disrespected. So when I put up that I was going to do this, then I started to get comments, okay, from some of you all who are what society calls blue collar men, but your experience is different. Some of you guys were like, no, I feel respected. I've always been able to get women, or, I'm technically by terms a blue collar man, but I make a good living. All these different things. And some people were like, yes, I experienced this respect, but I could care less because basically you know who you are, which is what you're supposed to. Nobody else should be able to define you. And then my perspective was different, okay? Because, I was raised by a blue collar man, and you guys have already heard me probably talk about my father on every live, which just shows that yes, I do have a really good relationship with him. So I'm thinking, and I was thinking like, well, wait a minute. My perception of a blue collar man is completely different than what I'm hearing from some from these men. Cause I'm just still like, my father is like, I respect him. He's the first man I ever respected. And I absolutely adore him, but he was big on respect. I respect him. So I just didn't understand why somebody would disrespect men like that. Okay. So as we started to go into it, then I'm thinking, I was like, you know what? I was talking to women and I started to think of it from a woman's perspective instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to have blue collar men on here speak. I'm like, well, women do overlook certain men based on X, Y, and Z, which we will also get to. Okay. So then I started to tie that in and I went back into my upbringing. Okay. And I'm like, wait a minute, there is like, to me, blue collar men are good men. Okay. I'm like, but there is a perception of what a good man is. Okay. There is a perception out there. And when I say a lot of these things, no, I did not survey, this is not Family Feud. I didn't survey, so many women on the planet Earth or whatever. But we know society's views and the perceptions of blue collar men, white collar men, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not going to get into some of that because this is a little bit like a different side, but it's something I will touch on. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. But let me get this off of here. Okay. So what was I saying? Now, I should never have looked over. I should never have looked over there because I have ADD. Oh yeah. But, the perception of what a good man was. Okay. So I'm like, well, what is a good man? That we all have a different idea of what a good man is. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of us there are certain ones that we would all agree on. But then we got into this conversation like, well, my perception of a good man is going to be different than somebody else's. But as a whole, when we think of society, when we think of, groups or whatever, what people, even if they're stereotypes, what people are going to say is the perception of a good man to me has built the misconception of a blue collar man. Okay. Because based on the way women view a good man, the majority of them do not think of blue collar man. Okay. And the reason they don't think of a blue collar man is because of the misconceptions. Okay. So that's why it's called kind of like, perception, I just had a brain fart, excuse me. Perception, misconception, okay? The perception of a good man has created the misconception of a blue collar man, all right? So going back into my upbringing, okay? So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. I didn't, like I said, I did not understand this topic at first because I'm thinking like blue collar men, why do they feel disrespected? Why would somebody disrespect a blue collar man? Because I was thinking based on my upbringing. Then I had to take my upbringing out of it and think of it as society. Okay. Think of it as just a regular woman in society and how men and how a good man and successful man, those perceptions. Okay. Even if I don't personally agree with them, but I had to think like that. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. But if you listen to my upbringing, like I said, my father, like I was raised by a blue collar man. Okay. My father was a fireman. My mother was a teacher. Okay. Now, granted, my father started as a fireman, eons ago. He's retired, worked his way up, became a chief, retired from St. Louis City Fire Department, went to another smaller city in, St. Louis, whatever, outside St. Louis, University City, and became the first African-American fire chief there. Okay. So growing up, we lived in a really good neighborhood. My parents had their house built from the ground up. I went to private school for years until I personally decided I want to go to public school. We took family vacations. I got a car in high school, even though it was, like a used Jeep in high school, extracurricular activities, all that kind of stuff. Okay. From what we would call a decent, like a good life. Never wanted for anything. None of that kind of stuff. If something broke down at the house, my parents could get it fixed, and granted, it wasn't just my mom. I mean, it wasn't just my father's income. It was my mom's as well. But either way, we were good. A fireman and a teacher. Okay. But we're talking about men. So a fireman, he was a fireman. And, when you start the fire department or police or whatever when we start, most of us start here and you work your way up. Okay. So a fireman. So with me, I'm like, life was good. Went to Michigan State. My parents were like, look, we have 4 years of college saved up. They paid 4 years. I was up in that mug, like higher learning. Took me forever to graduate, but I finally graduated. So after that, that's when I took out loans. But they had, part of my college education saved up at an out-of-state university. Okay, Michigan State is not expensive. No, it's not Harvard, but it's a Big Ten. Go green, go white. But it's a good school. Okay, so basically, all of that, and that's when it comes to things. Okay, that's when it comes to the lifestyle. That was the lifestyle of a blue collar man. It was good. It was good. I had stuff that I wanted. I had stuff, I had everything that I needed, and I had stuff that I wanted. Okay. Now, so that was as far as the things, the material things, the lifestyle. Now, as far as the man himself, good evening. Is that Michael? Yes. Good evening, Michael. As far as the man himself, and being a good man, my dad he still does. I mean, he a hard worker. Okay. So this is what I think about blue collar men. Hard workers. They're driven, family men, providers, stable, so stability. They're leaders. My dad was a leader. And to me, okay, being a leader can be in the community, in your home, in your church, whatever. A leader. It's the way you carry yourself. Okay. As a man, you do not follow the crowds. You step out and you lead. Okay. You do it with respect. You respect the other men that are leading, but you lead in some way, some form, some fashion. Okay. You lead. Okay. So leaders, problem solvers. To this day, if I have a problem, I'm picking up the phone and I actually do call my father daddy. And I call him now when I was married really quick. No, I did not call him like that because I had a husband, but my father, still what I'm saying is that he was a problem solver. Okay. All of these things, blue collar men are essential. Okay. Blue collar men are in high demand. One thing my dad said is that we will always have a job, always have a job. Okay. When all of this stuff was going on, a lot of the blue collar had a job. So, whatever, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's when I think of a blue collar man, I have my notes, like I said, dedicated, strong, protector, family man, problem solver, essential, respected, resourceful, a leader, confident, like my dad, like this quiet confidence, like it's like this masculinity, this strength, just a quiet confidence. Okay. Now when I think of a good man, okay, this is my upbringing. What I was, when I was raised, a good man, hard worker, driven, dedicated, you're going to catch on really quick. Dedicated, strong, family man, provider, problem solver, resourceful, respected, a leader, all those things. These are, so the qualities and what are identifiers of a good man to me in my upbringing were the exact same of a blue collar man. Okay. My perception of a blue collar man is my perception of a good man. Okay. This is before we get into everybody else. This is me. Okay. So that's why I didn't see a problem with, with blue collar men. And then another thing is that it's also, like I said, it was the way I was raised. I was also raised that you're supposed to treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO. And that's just, I know you guys have heard that it's a figure of speech. My parents taught me that whoever it is, if they get up and go to work, they should be respected. Okay. Period. And another thing my dad used to say is a beat up car is better than a dressed up walk. So my parents, even though we had nice things and I like nice things, they didn't raise me for that. You know what I'm saying? They weren't like, oh, look at somebody and judge them or what they have or what kind of car they drive or how they dress or anything like that. Because if you really know anything, you cannot tell a lot by the way people dress. Okay. So when people go to judge people off of that, you will don't tell them what some of these women are missing out on, because they're judging and they look at some of these men by how they dress or what watches they have or don't have or whatever. All right. So that's how I was raised when it comes, my perspective, my perception of a blue collar man and my perception of a good man. All right. Y'all are winning. Okay. You guys are winning. And one last thing. I'm going to bring this up later. My dad also said, he was like, a suit doesn't make the man. A man makes the suit. That's why suits don't move me. If you're dressed in a suit, it doesn't move me. It can look nice. I'm like, oh, that man looks good. He, handsome, whatever. But the way some of these women, oh my God, he's in a suit. The way some of these women fall out when they see a man in a suit, I can get this. I might react to a man the same way that has on jogging pants and no, they do not need to be gray, or whatever, or a t-shirt or whatever. If it's a man, if it is a man that exudes this confidence, if he treats people right, my dad was big on it's how you treat people. And it's what you think people say about you, obviously, when you're not around. So if they speak highly of you, if you're respect, whatever, that's what a man is. You know what I'm saying? A man provides. He's resourceful. He's respect. All of this. That's what makes a man, not the suit. The suit doesn't make the man. Okay. And neither does the job title, because you can have some, that are CEOs of companies and all types of stuff. Oh, and also on this discussion, when I'm talking about white collar and all that kind of stuff, or what people perceive as a good man, I'm excluding, you guys can go ahead and say what you want, because I was married to one. I'm excluding athletes and entertainers, because most women will never end up with somebody like that. So I'm not, when I talk about successful men or whatever, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about what society says is white collar, blue collar, and really what women also perceive as a good man based on, and then they have these misconceptions of blue collar men. And that's why a lot of them overlook them or think of it, if they end up with a blue collar man, oh, I'm settling or whatever. Okay, hold on. I'm going over here to these comments. Oh, somebody said Spartans. That's right. I am going to bring, yes, Chris. Okay, so I am going to bring my dad on to drop some gems in the future for a couple lives. You should see this look I got, because my dad is off the chain. And so you guys can also hear some of the stuff he has told me, because he holds no punches. He's just, he's a man's man. And that's leading me to this topic, why I kind of wanted to go more in depth, not just like, oh, blue collar men aren't just firemen or whatever. You guys can be skilled electricians and all that, which I'm going to get on. But I wanted to look at how women view the misconceptions, but built off the perceptions, of what a good man is. Okay. And really quick, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. I might not be able to. You guys already know when I go adding stuff to the stream, I'm messing up. Okay. Really quick. So this was, you guys might have seen this. You might not have if you're not on the other social media. Did we post this on the community tab? All right. So we call men shallow for choosing women, going after women based on their body types, and all that kind of stuff, right? Their looks, their face, whatever, okay? But women women really can't choose a man, okay? Because the man has to choose you. But women go after men who, based on their physical possessions, okay? Or assets or whatever, okay? So the reason when I was working on this, I thought about that. I'm like, wait a minute. But we call men, and I'm not talking about gold diggers, because here's the thing. You can have women who are about physical possessions or what you have, but they're not, quote unquote, a gold digger because of the way that they do it, which you also have to watch out for, okay? And some of these are women that have their own, you know what I'm saying? They're just as successful. But I'm just saying that they only go, you know what I'm saying? They will pass up any and everybody who does not have some of these physical possessions. Not even that they want them for themselves, but for them on this, they just have a list of qualifiers. So it's like, okay, has to have this, has to make this much, has to have this, this, and this. And they don't even turn their head and look at somebody who is not hitting those marks, okay? They use all of these crazy qualifiers of what they think is a good man and as a filter. So anybody who doesn't hit them is basically beneath them, okay? Anybody who's down here is somebody that they're settling with, okay? Yes, gender creates approach for same results. So here's the thing. I'm like, okay, so women, physical possessions, assets, whatever. I'm like, well, we're shallow then if we're like that, okay? And the only reason I thought about this, one, is because we have all these movements. Like men, literally, you all get tore up. You guys get talked about if you say, oh, I like her because of this, and you name a physical attribute, okay? But as men, you guys do. You eat with your eyes. This is what you see first, okay? And here's the thing. To me, there's nothing wrong with it. But if we're going to burn you all at the stake for it, then how come when we do it, we say, oh, she's looking for stability? I don't get that. You see what I'm saying? So yes, if you end up with anybody just based off of what you see, then yes, to me, that is wrong. And that is shallow and it's completely whatever. But at first glance, there's really nothing wrong with it. But my whole point with this message was the fact that, like I said, you guys are shallow for doing it. So if you guys are shallow for doing it, then we should be shallow for doing it. Okay? And it is. You like what you like. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with it. But I have to point out when we say something about you all, but we don't hold ourselves to the same level, you know what I'm saying? So we need to be accountable too. If you guys are shallow for doing that, and we have to have movements that men look at women like a piece of meat, we're looking at you, some of us are looking at you guys like a meal ticket. So, I mean, if you look at both sides, so that's all I'm trying to say. Hold on. All right, so let's get on down. All right, okay, so I'm trying to find this one. You guys might have seen it. It actually got, sorry, I got to move all through here. It actually got, hold on. It actually got deleted when I put it on my Instagram. Why do I keep ending up on this guy? Okay. All right. So this is the one that made me think, okay, we need to go really deeper into, well, not too deep, but like the perception of a good man. And why are these women passing up all these men? There's never any good men. There's no good men out. That's why so many women are single. And you see it all the time. They complain about it. There's nobody on my level. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on my level and all that kind of stuff. Like people don't say scrubs, but whatever they're calling you all these days. Okay. It's just not enough for you all. That's all, that's all I see constantly. No good men. And I'm like, I see good men all the time. Now I'm gonna have people hitting me up saying, girl, where are they? Now I didn't say they were all in St. Louis, but you know what I mean? Whether it's on social media, like I see good men and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Y'all can't find the good men because this is what you're attracted to. So that brought me to my point is that you think all of this stuff makes you a good man and you're passing up the actual good men. Okay, so I had a sign that said, quit checking my phone, but I have to because it was a family member. So that's the only reason why I'm checking my phone. It's not to be rude. Okay, this is a live stream and this is a Sunday night. So it was actually about one of my kids. So that's why I'm checking it. All right. I don't ever want you guys to think that I'm being rude. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, if women are attracted to the jewelry, what else did I say? All the designer from head to toe. You can't have just, you have to have multiple cars. I didn't talk about homes and all that. And then I also talked about having a girlfriend or wife already. Women are attracted to that. Now, when I say women, am I not talking about every single woman? Okay. But there are some that are attracted to that would never speak on it. Some are just, some people own it. They're like, yes, I like this. I want him to have this much money. I want him to be able to buy me a new body if I want it. I want him to be able to buy me a Birkin if I want it. I want to be able to go on trips, whatever. Some people are just upfront with it. Some people try to hide it, but a lot of women are still attracted to men who also have a girlfriend or wife and have some of these things, okay? Because if he already has a girlfriend or wife, a woman is thinking, and she's probably not going to say it, but I'm going to let you all know what she's thinking. She's thinking, oh, that's security. That's stability. Because if she's with him, that means he's got something going on. And another thing I'm going to say, since we're talking about YALL, is that women will also go after men who have these things and who have, like I said, they already have women, but based on how the woman looks will make them want to go after them even harder. Okay. This is what a lot of women consider. Some of the things that women consider that good men have. Okay. These are the identifiers up front. Like within, as soon as you see somebody, it's like, oh, okay, if he has this, he's probably a good man, because good men are successful, and their idea or image of a successful man. Okay. Now here we go. Hopefully this works. Their idea of image of a successful man is these types of images. Okay. The suits, the watches, the cars, and all of that kind of stuff. I'm gonna pause it right here. So the perception of a good man to most women, like I said, is built on misconceptions. It's built on false whatever. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a guy that wears suits and watches and all. That's not what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the guy that sits behind a desk. I'm not saying that at all either. But what I'm saying is that if we believe only good men have those things, if we believe only good men have, sit behind desk or CEOs and attorneys and certain levels of education. So if we believe that only good men have those things, then we're saying that all these other men, or who don't show it or whatever, all these other men just get left to the side. No, that's not right. So there's nothing wrong with having those things or anything like that. It's something wrong, like I said, when we basically crap on the others and we completely build this false this false perception of the blue collar man, when it's at the end of the hold on, let me get my thoughts here. The false perception of the blue collar man and the perception of a good man. Okay, because I don't want to raise my daughter to think that, because all those things do not make a good man at all. I'm not saying if a man has them, then he's the opposite, he's bad. But what I'm saying is that those things do not make a good man. So the problem is when women start saying there's no good men out here. Yeah, you're saying there's no good men out here because this is all you're chasing. Okay. This is all you're trying to choose from. So when men approach you who don't have some of that going on or all of that, then they're beneath you. And that's not right at all. Okay. So some of these misconceptions, and this is where the disrespect of the blue collar man starts. Okay. So some of the things that we have are white collar men. You guys might have seen these are successful. Okay. So in order to be successful, you have to be a blue collar man. This is the, as far as what they have, the jewelry, white collar man, jewelry means white collar man, which means successful. These are all flipped. Okay. Another one is, and I just play, we just play with them. They're interchangeable. Husband material. Only white collar men are husband material, right? Because they're stable, they're successful, so they can afford to have a wife, and in the future they can afford to have children. Okay, these are things that I have heard from women. These are things that I know women believe. All right, so that's why we're just kind of going through these. Oops. Let's keep going. White collar means wealthy. We're gonna get to these. All right. So, in which we know is not true. White collar man, the good man. All right. So I'm just going to keep letting these go through. Now, when you have that, like I said, we lead to the misconceptions of the blue collar man. All right. Now, hold on. Let me get out here. So the misconceptions of the blue collar man, a lot of them, uneducated or not a high level of education. Okay. And we'll go back. My father only had a high school diploma. So I don't see anything wrong with somebody that only has a high school diploma. And not that I've looked for men, but so let's think of men that try to talk to me. I'm not like, oh, you didn't go to like a 4-year university. Oh, you don't have a master's or a doctorate, or you're not a lawyer or anything like that. No, my father's a great man. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I'm a better woman because of him. So he has a high school diploma and he's one of the most intelligent men that I know. So I don't, all that kind of stuff, all them degrees and all of that, like, yes, amazing. All that kind of stuff is amazing. If you have a degree, if you can afford nice stuff that you want, that's all amazing. It's just that we should not idolize it. We have got to stop idolizing that type of stuff. You can recognize it, you can appreciate it, but we cannot continue to idolize that types of stuff. All right. Hold on, we're going to do a comment really quick. So, Mr. Mind Over Matter said, I asked them when they talk about a good man, do you think Shaka Zulu was a good man? Do you think King Leonidas was a good man? Do you think the samurai of Toshima are good men? They weren't rich, but good. Okay. We have that. Oh, that's Righteous Maurice. Okay, Righteousness Maurice, sorry. And then this one was, wise man once said, if she can't find you handsome, let her find you handy. All right. What's up? There are Darren Haynes. Hello. How are you, Darren? There are a lot of smart men who don't have degrees. My dad only had one, but is super smart. Yes, I definitely agree. And there are a lot of people who have degrees who have them because they memorized what was in a textbook and they got a degree. So that's that too. And that's what I'm saying. When we complain that there are no good men, yeah, because you're looking at the wrong stuff. You're looking for the wrong stuff. You're searching in stuff, okay? And then there's a whole nother part because people want what's already ready-made, okay? We live in a world where everybody wants to just step into it. They want to step into the positions. They want to step into like the titles and the accolades. They want to step into the relationships. They want to step into the marriage. Nobody enjoys the process. You don't have a lot of people that enjoy the process or that even want to go through the process. Nobody trusts the process anymore. Everybody wants to skip the process. And so even when it comes to, I guess, husbands or relationships, since we're talking about men and women, it's like nobody wants to build. You want somebody that is already right here. Okay? Somebody that is already right here. But most people that are right here started right here. It's really what's in their mindset, okay? It's what's in their mind. And I said I was going to get to that later on. I like to jump around. But like nobody wants to build. Like people don't want to build anymore, okay? At all. And I want to bring this up really quick. Educated people aren't always thinking people. You were absolutely right. Maverick said, materialism has blinded everyone into a vial of vanity poison. Yes, it really has. You were absolutely right. Oh, I love this. The process is beautiful from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Okay, so while we're on this process and how everybody's not right here, you already know that when I brought up this topic, okay, about blue collar men and what's a good man and all of that, of course I got the comments. I was almost waiting for them that started to talk about who I was married to, okay? One was like, well, your ex-husband's net worth was this. I had some other ones that were like, let's be honest, what type of men do you attract or what type of men do you go after? And I was like, you know what? I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it. But this is like, I want that kind of conversation. I want that dialect. I want people to see me and even though I say you shouldn't judge people and to judge me. Okay. So since we're on this, okay. And like I said, my respect for the blue collar man, my perception of the blue collar man, my perception of a good man was completely different because of my father, okay? And even if he wasn't that person, if my father would have been a CEO, the type of man that he is, and like Darren Haynes said, like what people have as far as like not even like they don't have to have a lot of degrees, but how intelligent they are. My dad was big on, not judging people based on their jobs, and how he said some people will have something planted on the inside of them, and it just needs somebody else to bring it out. So there are a lot of people that may make $70,000, $50,000, $40,000 that have $1 million mindset, and they will probably get there, at some point. So and sometimes it does take partnering up with somebody. Especially when you get married, destiny flocks together. When a woman marries her husband, she should be able to bring the best out of him. Now we're going to get to me, and how I can bring the best out of people. But no, honestly, people are like, basically, how can you talk on this topic and you weren't with a blue collar man? Okay. You weren't married to a blue collar man, but you're saying that, assuming that I chose him when he was making X amount of dollars. Okay. That I chose him when he was making millions. So you're just looking at me thinking that, not knowing anything. So let me give you a little history. The reason I can, like I said, I can talk about some of this now, or that I'm open to, and I'm open to discussing this, is because, and I'm talking about women that choose men based on their things, is because I'm not a woman that chooses men based on their stuff. Prime example, when I got with my ex-husband, his windshield wipers on his car did not work. Okay. When we went out on one of our dates, he had to pull over at the gas station and put that Rain-X stuff on your window because it was raining and his windshield wipers didn't work. And he was also sleeping on his mom's couch in her kitchen when I got with him, when I married him. That's what it was. Okay. And we struggled when we first got married. And yeah, did my parents save and do all this? Yes. But now I am married, so I should not go to them. We struggled. His career, like, he was in school. He didn't have a fight deal or whatever you want to call it. So that's the man that I married. Okay. If you guys want to say that I choose men, that's the man that I chose. Windshield wipers didn't work and slept on a couch in his mom's kitchen. All right. So let's just make that very clear. And when it also comes to men, I have men that have money that have tried to talk to me. I've had, when ladies talk about athletes, all of that. I don't go for that. Like, that's not going to pull me through. Okay. Yes. Like some of that stuff, if you think they can afford certain things and you want it, yes, but that's not going to pull me through. I will not ever stay with anybody or get with somebody based on just their physical assets. Okay. Because then I'm cheating myself out of something. I'm cheating myself out of a real relationship. I'm cheating myself out of love and all that kind of stuff. And also, guess what? I'm also not going to filter men out based on some of these, some of these things, on some of these, whatever perceptions of a good man. So if he doesn't have a Rolex on, he doesn't have a Rolex on. If he doesn't own a Rolex, I don't care. He doesn't own a Rolex. Okay. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I don't care about his car. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is that if he is a man, yes, I want him to be able to be a leader. If he is a man, I want him to be driven. I want him to be stable. I want him to have a strong mindset. Okay. I want him to be resourceful, all that kind of stuff. I don't care. And I want him to be a hard worker. That's it, because he's a man. He should be able to problem solve. If something happens, okay, he should be able to be like, okay, I got this. This is what we're going to do. Purely, that's it. Because guess what? My husband and I divorced when he was the world champion. Let's make that clear also, okay? So when it comes to staying with somebody or getting with somebody based on what they have, I'm not that woman, all right? And that's the thing, is that there are so many good men who don't have that stuff. There are a lot of millionaires who don't. Like, I know millionaires right now, millionaires, been wealthy, not rich, not overnight wealth, been wealthy, okay? And I'm saying just like that, who have been wealthy, who drive minivans, who wear Levi's, who wear New Balance tennis shoes or whatever. But it's everything about them that makes them a good man, okay? You would never even know what they had. And which is probably smart, because then there's certain women, like I said, it's like, oh, that's a good man. But what about all the good men who don't, like I said, don't have those things, or have them and they choose not to wear them? There are a lot of men who are like, hey, I'm on the job. I don't need to have this on, okay? I don't need to have all that. But when we think of blue collar, when you think of blue collar men, not me, but when women think of blue collar men, they're uncouth. Like I said, they're uneducated. Okay, here goes, look at this handsome man. But this is what, so this is what women are thinking. And the only thing, I'm gonna be honest, they would be like, he's cheesy, he's buddy, okay? Blue collar men are broke. And if they're not broke, they're living paycheck to paycheck, okay? So you're not, all those things, you're not gonna have that security because you're gonna be stressed out. Your man's gonna be stressed out. You're gonna be stressed out. He can't lead, he can't provide, he can't do all these kind of things. These are the misconceptions of blue collar men, okay? Blue collar men are not husband material. Matter of fact, they're probably somebody's baby daddy, okay? Misconceptions, all right? They belong to a lower social class. You know, when people think of social classes, I don't know why, they're down here. If you end up with a blue collar man, you were settling, all right? If you're an educated woman, you're not going to be able to take him to functions and around your friends and all that kind of stuff. He's not going to know how to dress. He's not well groomed. He rents. He'll never own. All right. Which is nothing wrong with renting. If I didn't have all these kids, I would probably be renting a little apartment because being a homeowner is a hot mess. It's expensive. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. So if you live in a mansion, I'm going to put this comment on here really quick. If you live in a mansion and have millions in the bank, but if you don't have compatibility and peace, you will be rich and miserable or married and still lonely. Rod, baby, Rod, where are you from? That, and no disrespect to my ex, but that's how it's like, I've had it. And when I had it, I was depressed. Okay. I was at my lowest with all of that. That's not what it's about. And you can have it all. Okay. Yes, you can have, in order to be happy does not mean you have to be broke. You can have it all. But in order to have it all, you may have to build with somebody, okay? You got to get in the trenches with somebody. You got to, if they're like, hey, babe, I want to do this, I believe in this, or whatever, you get together, you team up, and you build it, okay? And you become that power couple. You can have it all. And everybody's idea of having it all might not be the same as the next. And everybody wants to be in a mansion, okay? I don't like being in big houses because I'm scary, but I'm not that scary. So somebody will get the heat. They will get that smoke if they roll up on me. But it's like, if the kids are on, I hear every little noise. I'm like, what's that? What's that? But like somebody's idea of have it all may just be like living comfortably, not wanting for anything. You're not living from paycheck to paycheck. You can make all your needs are met and then you have a savings, whatever it is. But if you go after just stuff, the stuff is never enough. That's how you have men, okay? Let's talk about these successful men who commit suicide. The successful men who jump off the top of the buildings that they own. The successful men that put a gun in their mouth, okay? Let's, I hope YouTube doesn't get me for that. But that's the type of stuff that's successful men, white collar men that, all these women want good, that they think are just good men. They do that. And you all want that stuff. But stuff is never enough. It's about everything that it's about the stuff that you cannot buy. You can't, that's what I'm saying. It's like Rod said, compatibility. Peace is priceless. Peace is priceless. Compatibility, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be alone. Like you said, you can be married and alone. And I say it all the time, but if you go after stuff, it will never be enough. Okay. And also when there's certain women that you don't want to get with a woman who is only about stuff, because I'm going to tell you right now, there's always room for her to go to the next highest bidder in the room. I'm going to say that again. If you get a woman who is only about stuff, okay, no matter how much money you have, she is always open because her loyalty lies nowhere. It does not lie with you. It lies with the stuff. Okay. There's always a chance she can go to the next highest bidder in the room. Her head is always going to be on a swivel. All right. So I'm just going to put that out there. All right. Just putting that out there. Somebody said misconceptions. Yes. And everyone doesn't see with their eyes. That's true. So and this is what we're thinking. Okay. So this is why my blue collar men are feeling disrespected. The ones that are feeling disrespected because the world and women have painted you guys as there's only certain jobs blue collar men can have. They're firemen, they're police officers, men in uniform, factory workers, truck drivers, and all of that. Nothing wrong with all of that, okay? Nothing wrong with factory workers. Because when we were talking about this, I'm like, those men in the factory, when they get that time and a half and all that overtime, their checks be hitting, don't they? So when women are judging all that kind of stuff, and they're making it seem like blue collar men will never be able to reach a higher level. Like they don't have any drive. Like blue collar men have no drive. Blue collar men have all of that, okay? Blue collar, you work with your hands, manual labor. So we're gonna also get into this. Like the contractors, when I had this house remodel, contractors are not cheap. We had a plumber on the comments, and he was talking about, he was like, look, I've been successful. Plumbers, baby, this plumbing in this house was almost $10,000. The electrician is at $12,000, and some of it's still not finished, okay? These are blue collar men. Blue collar is not broke. Blue collar does not mean uneducated. Blue collar does not mean he's somebody's baby daddy. Blue collar does not mean that he's unstable. It does not mean that he is less than, okay? It does not mean that a blue collar man is like the backup, okay? It's like, oh, I couldn't get the rich guy, what I think is a rich guy. I couldn't get the good man. I couldn't get the successful man. And like, or the few that think, that they can get all these entertainers and athletes. It's like a small percentage, because only a small percentage of people actually make it, okay? But whatever. But when it comes to the white collar and the successful and what women paint as the good man, then it's like, oh, I'm going to end up with him. You know what I'm saying? I'll be okay. I won't be alone. I'll always have to work. It's going to be baby, women, if you watch this, some of you probably won't, but those of you that are watching, or if any of you all want to watch this or share it, ladies and fellas, share this. Ladies, let me tell you something. You are missing out on some amazing men because of your misconceptions of blue collar men. If you get with some of these blue collar men, especially since we haven't been through this pandemic, baby, they will always have a job. Okay. They can get, and then they will always be able to branch out on their own. You may have a truck driver who started off driving for somebody else. Now he has his own trucking company. Okay. I know people that have their own trucking companies and they still drive the trucks just because they like to. You may be with somebody who's working, who's doing the framing on a house or in a building, but ends up owning a construction company. And you know what I'm saying? And has a ton of projects underneath them and a ton of workers. What I'm saying is that, like, you can get with a man and help him birth something greater in his lane. Do not pass him up because you think that he's less than a man and that he's settling, because then it's like you don't deserve him either. All right. Oh, baby, them carpenters. Yes. Okay. So one of my really good friends who actually became the general contractor on this house rehab project is actually a carpenter. Was Jesus who was a carpenter? Was Jesus a carpenter? Trucking is a lifestyle, and carpentry is crazy. It's skilled. The stuff that he did, like I wanted like some of these exposed faux, like wooden beams and cedar beams and all this kind of stuff. The stuff that he just put together, and he built me this crazy like floating deck off to the side of my yard, so I could put like my hammock and all this, and a pergola on top. Amazing. And that's what I'm saying. Ladies, stop passing up these men. Like, I'm going to keep going back to it, who do not have the watches and the luxury cars, and the girlfriends or the wives and all this kind of stuff, because you're passing up. And then also, as far as cars, you have a lot of men who do have luxury cars, but they don't drive them every day because they don't feel the need to show it off. Just like if they have nice watches, they don't feel the need to show them off. And guess what? Some people just don't want that stuff. All right. Like, some people are not watch people. They could care less about watches. You don't know the properties that they have. You don't know anything. And even if they don't have properties and all that, you don't know what they have placed down the inside of them. Okay. Do you know that's what I'm saying. Do you know what you could bring out of some of these men if you trusted the process? If you didn't want something ready made, if you got up off of social media and all this housewife and whatever, secure the bag, all this kind of stuff. If you got up off that mindset, you would be surprised what you would find out. Yes. Okay. Oh, I love that comment. Hold on. Okay. Bringing clarity to confusion. All blue collar workers are in position to have a multi-million-dollar business. Yes, you are. And that's what I am saying. Okay. Yes, you are. There is no reason why we should be disrespecting blue collar men. Ladies, there is no reason why you should be passing up these men. Stop trying to skip the process, okay? And get in the trenches. And when I say the trenches, that doesn't mean like you're just down and out, but start in with somebody, okay? You idolize like, oh, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, them power couples. People build stuff. They didn't start off as Jay-Z and Beyonce. You got to get in here and build with people, all right? And then you can have it. You can have it all. You can have it all. Some of y'all just lazy, all right? Let's see, truck drivers. Hey, Ty Banks, how are you? I'm a truck driver, run one from NYC to Florida and back. Now, okay, righteousness, Maurice. Now you know I'm 38, and I don't know what's it? Is that $6,000? Does that mean $6,000? $6,000 easily. See, you see what I'm saying? Yes. These men love high level tricking. I don't even know what that means. You guys know now. Come on, I gotta get with the lingo. Hold on, let's see. That's the magic love. Here, let me go back up. Let's go here. Blue collar, Maverick the Enigma. Blue collar guys are more than capable of providing. So why are they getting the crappy end of the stick? Because they're not famous. Yes. And I get called a clout chaser or whatever that is. And all of that. But yes, because they're not famous. That's what I'm saying. What is out there of a good man? All of these perceptions of a good man are built on false truths, like false realities. And that's what they're not. So they're not all famous. They're not all going to have these watches and all kinds of stuff. You know what? Hold on. I didn't do something crazy to my screen. Hold on. I got rid of you all's thing. Yeah, you guys, they're not going to have all that kind of stuff. And we're choosing, like I'm saying, we are choosing people based off of these perceptions and ignoring people based off the misconceptions. All right. Hold on. All right. So wait, I'm going to keep going. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. All right. And so what's going on is, like I said, we are living in a world where we place more value on things, which we already know. Okay. We're placing a ton of value on the material goods. We're placing a ton of value on the lifestyles, okay? The lifestyles of the rich and famous, or just, the lavish or whatever, the trips. And even if it's not like the private jets, but the trips, the purses, even if a woman doesn't want to stay at home, well, he should be doing enough to where if I wanted to stay at home, I could stay at home and all this kind of stuff. And I was a stay-at-home mom, you know what I'm saying? So other than I was a trainer or whatever and had my fitness facility, but basically I was a stay-at-home mom. So there are women, one who down that, but then they say like, oh, I want a man that can, if I want to be able to stay at home, I want to be able to stay at home. And women that are saying this, I've heard women say this out of their mouth, they don't even have any kids. So girl, what you trying to stay at home for? Just because you want to show to your friends and to others, oh, look, I don't have to work because my man makes X amount of dollars or whatever. And my man drives this and he has this and all of that. I'm telling you guys, and let me know if this happens to you. Do you ever look at people on social media and all the stuff that they post? And you're like, you know what? I know y'all secretly hate each other. Like, I know you're miserable. If they can't attack the argument, they attack the person. What is this one? Oh, thank you, Chocolate Tie. Hold on, guys. Okay, these men are the ones who make these women's lives easier. High level tricky means they play hard and work hard. Yes, I do agree. I do agree with some of that. Yes. Josiah, okay. You're on point. It's really sad how society has changed so much so fast when it comes to looking for someone special. Exactly. And you know what? A lot of guys, if they can't attack the argument, they attack the person. Yes. And a lot of women, another thing women will do is, I had somebody comment on Instagram, they will friend zone the blue collar man, okay? The man that's a hard worker and all that kind of stuff, they will friend zone him. And I'm telling you, they're friend zoning him because he's the backup. Remember I mentioned that the blue collar man is the backup. He's the backup to the meal ticket. So these women are sitting up waiting for that NBA, NFL fighter, whatever, NFL, player, the fighters, the attorneys, the Bill Gates of the world. They're sitting up lonely, first of all. And a lot of them miserable. Okay. Talking about there's no good men. baby, you got one right here. Okay, you got one right here, but you think that he's not enough based on that stuff. And you know what? There's a lot of women that think like that. Like I talked about upbringing, because their mothers, they're trifling mothers, because their mothers, them lady of the nights, that were probably ladies of the night, are all about they grooming them to get men that have money. Okay, girl, if he does not have this, if he does not have a nice car, if he does not have this or this, don't even. Okay, if he all are here. So they spend their life getting wore out chasing men like that. And the reason, let's get real, the reason some of them are getting wore out, because good men who do have some of those things, like good men, are like, okay, yeah, I can sleep with you, but I know what you're about. I'm gonna shoot you a couple dollars, but I know you're about my money. You will never be a wife. You will never be my wifey, because you're only after what I have. Your loyalty lies with that. All right. So these women that are brought up to go after the physical, possessions and material things get wore out. So by the time they should be settling down and having kids, they are, when I tell you they are so wore out, because like I said, the men who are really about something don't want them. They're not going to commit to them. And guess what? The blue collar men who are good men don't want them neither, because they even feel like, because then they feel like they're selling with them, because they're like, you know what? She feels like I'm not enough. So I'm not going to wife her, because why would I marry somebody? You know what I'm saying? Why would I marry somebody who feels that I am not enough as a man? So then what happens to these women? They get older, they sitting up, and they somewhere calling me a pig. They're sitting up and they turn into bitter, miserable, lonely. They may sleep, they may have a few guys here that sleep around, but they never were able to settle down, because what they were chasing didn't want them, because they knew it was chasing them. And then the ones that were left over, because they're thinking that the blue collar men are left over, but these men are smart. Okay, they're intelligent, but you all think blue collar men are uneducated. They're like, I don't want you neither. They're like, I don't want you. I'm not gonna wife you. Okay, hold on, let me get to this. I'm gonna answer it. The sad thing is that many women are not receptive to this message. They're not. But you know what? If they want to get with somebody, if they want to be in a relationship, and grow and all of that, if they want it all, if they want, if they want it all, if they want the love, because then here's the thing, we judge you all on that, but then we have all these quotes. It's I just want a good man. I want somebody that's emotionally mature. I want somebody that's mentally stable. They say that, they quote it, they post it because it looks good and it's trending. Okay. I love, I love men, or if it's for black men, I love my black kings. Oh, do you? Will you love him if he doesn't have a Bentley, a Benz truck, a Lexus, whatever? Do you still love him? Do you still respect these men? Is that still your king or not? Is he king enough for you to marry somebody like that or not? You know what I'm saying? You're chasing that, and that's all you're going after. And you are completely disregarding all of these other men. And here's the thing. If you like that, like I said, you like what you like, but you don't have to downplay and like downgrade the other ones. That's the thing. You can say, yes, I do want a man that has X, Y, and Z. But that doesn't mean turn your nose up. This is the whole point, okay? That does not mean turn your nose up at the truck driver, the carpenter, the electrician, the fireman, the police officer, the sewer worker, all that, everything. So these blue collar men, they build everything. All right. The highways we drive on, the cars we ride in, the airplanes, all that. They are the builders. Okay. Our world would be nowhere without them, which is why, like that one guy commented, every blue collar worker or blue collar man has $1 million business in him. He definitely does. And like I said, if you get with the right person, they'll see that and be like, babe, you know what? Like if he comes home and is like, you know what? I saw, for example, Okay, he's working on houses, and say he's a carpenter and there's another carpenter. You know what? He's cutting corners. He's not really doing this right. If I was in charge, I'd be doing this, this, and this. Maybe you get with a good woman, and a good woman who respects you and loves you and sees the future in you and knows that you have a skill and you have an asset, and you with like together you guys can do anything. She might be like, you know what, babe? Have you ever thought about becoming independent? Have you ever thought about getting some people underneath you? Have you ever thought about starting your own company? Okay. Hey, babe, why don't you go buy another truck? Why don't we put our money together and buy a couple more trucks and hire a couple more drivers? You know, hey, babe, why don't you and such, on the side, okay, you're an electrician. Why don't you start your own business? Plumbers, why don't you start your own business or whatever? But that's the thing. People don't want to build. These women do not want to build based on what they see, okay? Based on their perceptions of what a good man is. They want to, and it comes back to this entitlement. Women have this weird entitlement, and I don't know what it's about. Like I said, I don't know if it's because we can bring kids human beings into the world. I don't know if it's because of all these, all the movements that now have women feeling entitled, but we have this sense of entitlement, like, oh, I got up this morning and I deserve the world. No, you don't. I got up oh, I'm here and I need the richest man in the room. Oh, no, you're not enough. You know what I'm saying? No, girl, you're not enough because you're looking for the wrong stuff, okay? You're not enough. We just have this crazy sense of entitlement. And that's probably why that tweet, that like message when I was talking about what women, the good men, but they're attracted to all of this. That's probably why my stuff got deleted, because it definitely got deleted on Instagram. There were some likes. There were a lot of comments in the discussion. It definitely got deleted. So it probably got reported for what? I don't know. But if these women would listen, if they really got on board, they could listen to me and probably get a man. Even though, like I said, technically women don't choose men. The men choose the women. But yeah, girl, you could probably not end up not dying alone. Like, is that what Kevin Samuel says, like dying alone? Yeah, you could probably end up with somebody and not sitting up bitter. But you have to be able to build. You have to stop judging these men based on what they have or don't have, okay? Because that's not like my boys, they're athletic. They might not be athletes. Now, if they, as a mother, if they want to be, it's my job to make sure that if they're good, they are on the right teams and they have the right coaching and training or whatever. But that's not what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about them. If they come to me and say, I don't want to go to college, you don't have to go to college. Then you're going to do something. You don't have to go to college. And I always say, like, I should have went to trade school. Because, baby, I'm telling you right now, going to Michigan State and spend all that money, I should have went to trade school. And I say, I don't want my boys. I'm thinking about our future, okay? The generations that come behind us, all right? All these topics that I've been talking about, well, this is the fourth one, but these topics I've been talking about, I'm drawing attention to it because it's not right. And it's something that we have to fix, okay? Because the people that are coming behind us, it has got to stop, all right? Whether it's parents not getting along, women, not, like I said, not letting good fathers see their children because of their feelings, wrong. The misconception of the blue collar man, wrong. The perception of a good man, wrong, all right? I don't want my daughter to be out there passing up somebody that could possibly be her husband if she wants to be, that's a whole nother thing too. But whoever she ends up with, I don't want her, she's 5 now, but to be like, oh, I don't want her to pick her friends based on that. I don't want any of them. And I tell my kids all the time, do not pick to be friends with somebody based on what you think they have. I also have picked up, some of them have gotten older. They've had friends that have been on like FaceTime with them. They were like, oh, what kind of car does your mom drive? What kind of car does your dad drive? Let me see your house. And I come in there, I'm like, hang up. And they're like, Mom, why? I'm like, because they're only your friend because they think you have something. Get off the phone. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking to them. And that's the same thing. I don't want my kids to grow up with these perceptions and misconceptions, okay? I don't want my boys to think that they are less than a man if they don't have some of those things. No, because what makes you a man has nothing to do with the suit. Like my father said, a suit doesn't make the man. The man makes the suit. Literally and figuratively. That means it's about what you have in the inside. It's how you carry yourself. It's your character. It's your morals. It's how you treat others, okay? It's It's, you know, it's the level of respect that you have for yourself and that you can get from, it's all about that. It's your presence. It's your drive. You know, it's you as a provider. That's what makes you a man. And I also tell them, I'm like, and you're also not going to not like people based on what they don't have. If you don't like somebody, don't like them because of their personality, okay? Or whatever. You're not going to say you don't like somebody because their parents don't drive a certain car, they live in an apartment, or their house isn't big enough, or they don't have a swimming pool, or whatever. We're not doing that. And for us, like as adults, we're too old for that. We are too old to be judging women. We're too old to be judging a book by its cover, okay? We are too old to be looking at men and looking at everything that we see on social media and on TV and thinking, if he doesn't have this stuff, if he can't afford to, or if he can't afford to buy me this, he's not good. That's like walking into a bookstore and just looking around saying there's no good books, okay? Judge a book by its cover. We're too old for that because you know how to read, open the book. You might not like what the outside looks like. Take some time and open it up and see what's in there. See what is in there. See what can be brought out, okay? See how amazing it is beyond the cover, all right? Hold on. What's going on? Okay, here goes one. Oh, thank you, Josiah. Okay. It appears a lot of women want to mix fantasy with reality. They rather seek materialism, the look of luxury, the already baked cake. Yes, it's that's what they want. That's what they want. And look, hold on. And that doesn't always want them. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with nice stuff at all. But it's something, like I said, but it's something wrong with you thinking that that's what a good man has, okay? And there's something wrong with you thinking that any man that does not have that stuff or does not have a certain job is less than a man and is beneath you. Ladies, come on. And this isn't just the women who have degrees. I know people have done talks on, do educated women feel that blue collar men or whatever? This is women, period. You have women who are sitting up taking somebody's order who think that if men don't have these things, they are beneath them. And you got a lot of women who are struggling, who are like, he doesn't have this. Girl, are you kidding me? Hold on. Character flaws, yes. The mentality of most, I'm glad people are saying it because, they talk about me, so I'm going to put your comment right here. The mentality of most women these days is based on materialism. Yes, it is. 100%. Like 100%. I've had purses and all types of stuff that I was just buying because I could. And because I was unhappy and it was like a void filler. That's what I'm saying. That stuff is not, oh, thank you for saying it's a good topic. That stuff does not make you, okay? That stuff will not bring you peace. That stuff will not comfort you when you need to be comforted. And all of that stuff at any given moment, gone in the blink of an eye. And if you really and that's what I'm saying. I want you all, women need to start looking at successful men that have taken their lives, okay? There is a reason. Money does not make you. Things do not make you. They are not, yes, they're a lifestyle, but that is not life. That is not living, all right? Like my dad used to say, he was like, you can't be buried with that stuff. Like you can't. It's about more. The most important thing between men and women, okay, is the human connection. All right. It is the human connection. It's men and women connecting on a deeper level, not on this surface stuff. Let's see. What are we hearing? The trouble with the world is not that people know too little. It's that they know so many things that just aren't so. Yes. Oh, you sound like a poet. Somebody said, girl, you preaching today. Oh, we putting that on there because you said I was preaching. It might be because I put this little shirt on. Okay, but really quick, it might be a little snug. That's why I'm messing with it because I didn't tie this little thing. You guys, here I go getting off topic. And I felt like it was opening up. Women's attraction to materialism. Okay. Women's attraction to materialism gives men more of a reason to fake it until they make it. Now let's talk about that. I know so many men in suits or that have some of these things and they have nothing. Okay. Like my parents used to say, they don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. Okay. And some of these chicks are getting duped. And I think it's absolutely hilarious when they get duped, because you're going after these guys, or you're going after, the guys who run the streets, okay? The guys who run the streets, and it's quick money, it's fast money. They carry it all in a backpack. They got it all on them. Let me tell you something. When you're really about something, I don't want to see you wearing your stuff. I don't want to see all of your money on you at all. That is so unattractive to me. It's too much, because then I feel like well, one, you can have good men who do that, but they know that that's all women are attracted to. So they have it all on. Okay. And then to me, it's corny. I don't want to see that. And that's the thing. The women are calling the other guys who don't wear all this stuff corny. And then they see somebody like me with one of them, and they're like, well, wait a minute. Yeah, girl, you snooze, you lose, because you thought he was corny, and he's not corny. You were just judging him based on all of this on the front of the book, because you didn't have enough sense to open it, because you are shallow. You didn't have enough sense to open it and see what was inside. Baby, and it's a whole king and a whole kingdom and a whole legacy and empire coming. But you passed up the book because you didn't like the cover. And that's what I'm saying. We are too old to be passing up books because we don't like what the outside looks like, or it doesn't match what we think, Darren, you do wear a suit. And that's what I'm saying. You see, there's nothing wrong, Darren. There's nothing wrong with wearing a suit at all. But there is something wrong with if a man is not in a suit, that he gets disrespected and looked down on. Okay? That's all it is. Guys in suits are nice, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, a suit doesn't necessarily, like somebody like me, it's not going to move me. If a guy is in a suit, he's in a suit and he looks nice. If a guy is in his work clothes, like his uniform or whatever, he looks nice. All right? I'm not going to respect the guy in the suit. Okay. So I'm not going to respect Darren over the electrician. They could both be good, amazing men, but they both deserve respect. Okay. One does not deserve to be disrespected because he's not in a suit. All right. And one does not need to have all these negative stereotypes painted about him because he's not in a suit. All right. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Chris. A lot of these guys will have 10 pairs of Jordans, no insurance or a bank account. They won't have nothing to their name at all. They all that stuff. They won't have nothing to it. And that's what I'm saying. There is nothing wrong with that stuff. Okay. There's nothing wrong. If you're a car person and you want to have 10 cars, you work hard, have 10 cars. So really, fellas, it's not you, it's them, okay? Whatever your profession is, I applaud you, okay? Like my dad said, the person is getting up and working. You need to respect them. If you're getting up and you're working, I applaud you. If you are working for somebody else and you have this timestamp card, I don't think people have timestamp cards, I applaud you. If you're walking into a company and you're the CEO, I applaud you. What is wrong is that we tear these, men get torn apart if they don't have the material things, okay? And they're not qualified. They don't qualify as good men if they don't have the material things. Maybe you got some devils that got this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got all this stuff, and you got some. You got some devils that are the blue collar men too. That's what I'm saying. None of that makes the man. All right. None of that makes the man. None of that means that one is more worthy than the other. All right. All right, so I like this. Okay, Darren Haynes said, honestly, look at you in that suit. Honestly, people treat me totally different when I'm not in a suit. I love to wear sweatsuits because I wear suits all day. I 100% get that. And I've heard that from a lot of men that wear suits. It's like women that have to wear heels and dresses and stuff all the time. They're like, oh, I can't wait to get home and take that off. Okay, because I wear suits all day. And let me see, they judge everyone differently when... I know you're typing fast. So basically, Darren wears suits all day, likes to wear sweats, and he gets treated differently when he wears the sweats. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Darren. That is it. You do. You get treated differently. And that's not right. Like, I know very successful, very intelligent men who don't wear suits. All right, at all. Like my dad didn't like wearing his uniform and stuff and all that gear when he became a chief, but he didn't like wearing suits. Even when he goes to funerals, very rarely will my dad wear a suit, but he's stylish. Oh, and he might wear like a suit coat and like some slacks or whatever, but it's uncomfortable to him. Okay. It's uncomfortable. And that's what I'm saying. Even Darren, a guy who wears suits and is a family man, he's successful and all of that. If he does not have a suit on, people are looking at him differently. He is getting judged because he doesn't have a suit on. That is the problem. Okay. And another reason I wanted to have this topic is because I get tired of these women saying that there's no good men. Yeah, because you're looking for love in all the wrong places. Oh, who sings that song? I'm not going to sing it, but it's like, yeah, okay. The beat's in my head. Darren said he messed up. No, you're fine, Darren. We knew what you were saying. But yeah, they're looking for love in all the wrong places, okay? And that's what, like, I'm still going to keep saying, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It is the fact that we are saying, hold on, my brain got stuck on my thing. It is the fact that we are saying that these men are less. It is the fact that we have all these misconceptions of the blue collar men who are essential. Okay. I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for a blue collar man, not necessarily my father. Obviously he created me, but I'm saying this chair. Okay. This chair is sitting on the chair. It's on a floor. It's on a hardwood floor. Okay. Hardwood floors are expensive. They were under the carpet. They were refurbished. The hardwood floor. Okay. I have joints and all types of stuff that had this house built. I have a foundation. This house would not be here. Okay. This chair would not be here. And if we're going to talk like that, I would not be here if it was not for the blue collar men. Blue collar men are essential. Ladies, listen to me. Blue collar men are essential. And like, I'm going to go back to the one guy's comment. It might've been Rod who said that every blue collar man has $1 million business inside of them. The truckers, the electricians, the carpenters, the guys who work on the street, all of that. Like, I'm telling you guys, all of that, we will forever need that. Most jobs, like, so technology, with technology, most technology will never be able to replace the blue collar man. You know, when it comes to some stuff, but that's what I'm saying. Blue collar men are vital. They are essential. They are important. They are good men. They need to be respected. They are intelligent. They are providers. They are driven. They are stable. Okay. And I say family men, they are family men. They are everything. Okay. They are everything. And so are some of these white collar men, but I'm pumping up the blue collar man. Okay. Because the blue collar man is the one that is disrespected. There is no reason why any blue collar man should be disrespected because of his job title or disrespected because of what you think that he has and doesn't have. Now, that also goes to white collar men who do not wear their Rolexes or they do not want to spend. I know people who are like, you know what? I could buy a luxury car outright, but I'd rather buy these properties. Okay. So in general, ladies, I'm not saying you cannot like nice things. I'm not saying not to like a man who has jewelry or a suit or a nice car or whatever, but stop disrespecting and downplaying all of the other ones. Okay. And because you are missing out when you're saying there's no good men, you're missing out on a lot of good men because you're only going after the material things. And I know for a fact, I know some women who had millionaires. Okay. Let's just talk for a second. I know women. So I keep playing with my fingernail. I cracked it. I know women who have had millionaires chasing them down. Okay. The reason the woman didn't get with them was because of what they had. I mean, okay. So I'm put it this way. What they didn't have on or what they didn't drive. But the guy never felt the need to be like, oh, well, let me, because by that time, he's smart. He's like, well, wait a minute. If you don't want to deal with me, you don't want to deal with me. Baby, and he ends up with somebody else, and they see them jet setting across the world. You want to talk about salty? You want to talk about trying to finesse? Now, see, that's when I said if they have a woman or a girlfriend, because they passed them up. Now you see him with a woman, and you're like, wait a minute. Let me try to get back with him because I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know. You know why? Because you didn't take the time. You know why? Because you only care about material things. Because your mama probably only cared about material things. So you're passing up a good man. And now You see the lifestyle and the lavish or whatever you think with this woman because she opened up the book. Okay, she wanted to see what was inside. That's who he chose. That's why you didn't get chose. Yep, if you cannot grow, come on, Brad. Hold on. If you can't grow together spiritually, you will become bored with everything else. Yes, if you're spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all of that, okay? That's what lasts. That's what will take you through, okay? Marriage, relationships, none of that stuff is perfect. You have two grown people from like separate worlds trying to merge and become one and talk about things and work things through and kill off certain stuff from from themselves that aren't right, that they shouldn't have in a relationship, all that kind of stuff, okay? That's what's gonna, like, everything that you can't see, all right? Everything that you can't buy is what's going to pull you through. And also, everything that you can't see is also what can birth million-dollar businesses and legacies or whatever. Because when it comes to men, a lot of them just want to be supported and respected. If you support and respect a man, baby, he can go up there and move mountains. Do you hear me? So that's what I'm saying. It's how you treat them. It's how you treat them can birth everything. And the women who are smart, get with these men. The women who are smart are, okay, you know what? We're going to build together. All right. The women who are smart are like, you know what? It's just something about him. There's more to him. That is a good man. All right. That's a good man. I know that he's going to love me. I know he's going to protect me. I know he's going to provide for me. And I know I am going to respect him, support him, have his back so he can go out and be here. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You know, the man can be here and the woman can too. It's a team effort. If your man is here, girl, you are here too. It's not a competition. Same team. It is not a competition. You know, here I go. Same team. In order to have a champion, when you have these teams that become, championship teams, they were built. Okay. A lot of them were built. When you have these franchises, they were built. They all started here. Okay. There is a process. All right. They started here and then you grow, you glow, all that kind of stuff. All right. Okay. Where are the women with this mentality? Right chair? No, I'm just kidding. You know what? There's not a lot of them. There are some, but there's some that say they have this mentality, but they're really not about that life. All right. And they're probably, and once again, they'll be like, well, weren't you married? Yeah. And I could have stayed married, but I didn't. So, I don't care about that kind of stuff. Yes, it's nice. Yes, I appreciate it and all that kind of stuff. But that won't, like I said, that won't keep you. That does not comfort you. You cannot connect with that. Have you ever tried laying up? Hold on. You thought I was going to say something crazy. Have you ever tried laying up on a bed full of purses? Have you know what I'm saying? Laying on a bunch of money and paper, like you can't. That does not comfort you, okay? If you find, and God forbid, if you find out that you're sick, that's not going to comfort you, okay? If you find, if you're suffering from depression or anxiety or anything, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to lay its hands on you and comfort you. Like I don't know who said spirituality. That can't pray for you and cover you. It's stuff, okay? It's the man that can do that, all right? It's the man who can join with you and support you and love you and protect you and all of that. It is the man. It's not the suit. It's not the Rolex. It's not the Breitling. It's not the Bolt one, whatever. Okay. It's not the trips and all of that. That stuff is so much better when you're with somebody for real, when you're with somebody because they don't have that. Can you imagine getting with somebody who doesn't have that stuff, but you build it together? Do you know what that feeling is like? Do you know what it's like to be with somebody? I don't mean that you have to be with them and you guys are struggling. You guys could be doing okay. But some people are comfortable and they want more. They're like, you know what? No, I have more in me. Okay. No, I worked on this job for 20 years. I have a skill set. I've made contacts. Now I'm going to go out on my own. Okay. Because I already have a plan. But do you know how amazing that is to join with somebody and you're sitting back and you're like, we did that. We built that. This is ours. Like together. That's what's amazing. And that's when that's a power couple. That's when you guys are a force to be reckoned with. and your friends. You love each other. You respect each other. When you didn't have it, you loved each other and respected each other. When you have it, you love each other and respect each other. There is nothing like that. That is an amazing feeling, okay? Whether you're sitting in a house, that if you guys went from an apartment to a house, okay? You rented an apartment, now you bought a house. It doesn't have to be big. It could be 2 bedrooms. It could be, but it's yours. You did it together, okay? You got together and you did it together. And both of you all bring out the best in each other. And that's what I'm saying, ladies, the divine feminine energy and all that kind of stuff that I talked about, we birth things, okay? We are naturally birthers. You have it in you. If you stop judging these men, you have it in you to help them build empires, legacies, and all of that. Oh, that's my time check, okay? Nathaniel said, thank you. Yes. Oh, wait, who just said this? Building self 702. That made me think of the song group 702. Sorry. You know, same team wins the dream. Oh my gosh, I love that. You guys need to use that. Same team wins the dream. You said cooperation and support from the right woman. Can a man can move mountains? Yes, yes, yes. I wanted to open this up, and that's what hold on. I can't even get this off of here. Y'all know I'm always doing something. Let's see. If you don't enjoy the coffee date, you won't enjoy the expensive trip at all. But let me tell you something, like when you're with somebody, everything in life is about priorities, and what you prioritize will dictate what your life looks like 100%. The coffee, like, let me tell you, when you are with somebody, you should be able to do the coffee dates. You should be able to sit somewhere, sit at a park and order pizza and eat out the box. Anything, okay? Get those hot dogs. Do you have quick trips where you are? Get them beef hot dogs from Quick Trips. No, I don't eat them, but I heard they were good. That's what he's saying. You should be able to do that and take the trips. Okay? You should be able to do that and take the trips. Women, use your energy, use your power. First of all, get rid of this mindset, this materialistic mindset of what a good man is. And that's why you can't find nobody. If you don't want to die alone, then you need to erase that and realize that there are some good men out here. And also stop disrespecting. I can be pointing my finger. That's that mama in me. Stop disrespecting these blue collar men. Baby, these blue collar men, like Ross said, are millionaires in the making. And some of them already are millionaires, but you just don't know it. All right. And also realize that as a birther, okay, as a woman who we can birth things. We bring things to fruition or whatever. Okay. Get with them. Get these empires built. Leave this legacy. Okay. Become the power couples. Do it. Do something that your family didn't do. All right. As far as women in that mindset, if your mama raised you to go after men and money, that's a generational curse. Break that. All right. Change your narrative. That's what one of my girls says from this thing called Team No Excuses. Rachel, she's all about changing the narrative. You have to change the narrative. I saw your thing. This mindset is rare but appreciated. Thank you. Really quick before we get up. Anybody want to join this? Now, don't say anything crazy. If anybody wants to join, you are more than welcome. You should see how my person's looking at me. Where are the like-minded sisters on this chat? I don't know where they are. You know what? And I can't be every woman. No. Now you know what? I wasn't made like this. No. Some of it is the upbringing. And then honestly, after when you have had a lot and you still have it, like, yes, like I said, I like nice things, but things aren't it. And maybe my mindset grew more to this, not necessarily for blue collar men, but when it came to material things, is that after you've, when I had so much and I was miserable, I'm like, stuff doesn't make you happy. But once again, I will say, like, my mom, so for example, my mom never owned a designer purse. But I'm gonna tell you what my mom did. You'll look up, she'll be in China. She'll be in Europe, South Africa. Okay. So my mom was never into designer bags, but she likes to travel. So I'm going to travel. She's going to take so many international trips, and she's 74 now. If Corona wasn't going on, she would have left again. Just a few years ago, she was in South Africa. All right. So she was about her credit. She was about her credit. She was about being able to live. If she wants to get up and move, she can move. If she wants to take a trip, she can take a trip. So she was never about the bags and having to have all this stuff on, My dad had to buy her all this stuff just so she could look good for women who didn't matter and who were probably talking about her behind her back anyway. That's not what it was about. It was the fact that she could pull up to her house, open up her garage door, walk in, and it's like, I own this, okay? It's about building. Let me see. I don't know who this is, but I see you guys in here. I love that you guys talk in this chat and communicate with each other. I absolutely love it. Nathaniel Davis said, is he dreaming? Oh, I'm such a doll. Thank you. Well, this ponytail is tight though. Because I feel like it's, I had left my, oh yeah, I just want to let you guys know, this is completely off topic. But when I got my hair braided, girls always talking about their edges getting snatched. I was like, leave all of my edges out. So they may be looking a little fuzzy. But yeah. All right, so a few takeaways. Wait, let me get to my notes. A few takeaways. These are the takeaways. All right. A suit doesn't make the man makes the suit. We're too old to be judging a book by its cover. Ladies, too old to be judging a book by its cover. You better, if you're smart, you better open it up, all right? I had another takeaway. Do you remember what the other takeaway was? Look at me yelling. Because I run all my stuff by other people. Do you remember? He's probably going to be in there going off on me, all right? Oh, and then remember, we have to get back to building, all right? It is a process. Get rid of this idea that you're about to be some glamorous housewife or that you're just going to wake up and you deserve men to be, like all this stuff to be raining down on you, okay? No. And that, like I said, that does not make a good man. Get in the trenches. Start building with people, okay? The same team. You are not high and mighty. You are not God, Jesus. You cannot sit high and look low, all right? Stop disrespecting these men who do not, like Darren Haynes said, when he doesn't have on a suit, he gets treated differently. Stop disrespecting these men and thinking that they are less than a man because they don't have on a suit or they're not pulling up in a certain car or they don't have the watches and the stuff or whatever. That doesn't mean they can't have it. That doesn't mean that they don't have it, all right? It just means that they don't want to show it all the time. They might not feel like wearing it. Like he said, suits are uncomfortable. I wear a suit all day. I like being in sweats. Stop passing up these good men because of the material thing. Stop thinking that, get rid of this sense of entitlement that because you're a woman, that you deserve this crazy fairy tale materialistic lifestyle, all right? Men, I also want you to remember, if you get with a woman who is with you because of those things, her loyalty does not lie to you, okay? I don't care how long you've been with her. Her loyalty does not lie with you, okay? With the man, it lies with the stuff. She is always open and available to go to the next highest bidder in the room. Ladies, there are plenty of good men out there. You just keep passing them up. You better get one. You better open up that book and get with one. Build together, become that power couple. Same team, we win together, lose apart. Oh, what did that guy say? He said, same team wins the dream. All right, same team wins the dream. All right, guys, I'm about to get off of here. All right. Let me see. Okay, so I will try to really quick. I will try to touch base with you guys and maybe do some random lives this week. Okay, we are working on the next couple topics for March. I kind of have them down, but I don't know what all I'm going to do. Thank you for your support, and I will see you guys later.